Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the March 12th Budget Committee. At this time, we will have the emergency evacuations procedures.
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you've reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
Miss Amy, have you done roll call?
Madam Chair, we have 4 present.
We do have a quorum. If there is no objection, Brian Baldwin, the Finance Director, will fill in as chairman for this meeting in the absence of Mayor Mitchell. Is there any objection? Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, committee, for your confidence in me to serve as chair. We'll be moving along to our next item, public input on items on the agenda. Is there anyone who speaks to any items on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to D, approval of minutes. We have in your packet the February 12th, 2026 minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? I've got a motion by Commissioner Bright, a second by Ms. Hannum. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, I'd ask you to register your votes.
Mr. Chair, you have 4 yeses.
All right, we'll move on to Section E, transfers, increases, and decreases in the budget. First item.
Resolution 263001, budget increase schools, $261,456.96. Appropriate education capital funds to replace kitchen equipment at Heritage High School, William Blount 9th Grade Academy, Montville Elementary, and Wallen Elementary.
Do I have a motion to approve this item? Got a motion by Commissioner Kaler, a second by Ms. Hannum. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'd ask you to register your votes.
Mr. Chair, you have 4 yeses.
All right, this resolution will move to the full commission workshop agenda with a favorable recommendation.
Resolution number 263002, budget increase schools, $86,525.46. Appropriate education capital funds to purchase 21 network devices to replace outdated equipment.
Do I have a motion to approve this item? I've got a motion from Ms. Hannum, a second by Commissioner Anderson. Is there any discussion? Ms. Hannum?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I only have one question. For the 21 network devices, that school is pretty big. Is this going to be enough for what we need, or are we buying in batches for the future, or how's that going to work for us?
Then Justin's going to come out from behind the magic curtain, and there he is, and answer this for me. So it's 21 for 21 locations. I think he said we didn't need it at central office in the maintenance building, but this would be for the 21 schools, because we're going to move from our current provider to the county's network, and this just allows us to do that.
Yeah, so the 21 items, or 21 devices is one for each school. These are going to replace devices that are currently owned and operated by ENA, who the schools gets their network from now. So these are going to turn it into county-owned devices so we can get them on our network.
Okay, well, my thought process is technology moves faster than I can think and keep updated, so I was just wondering if by the time we get them and get them installed, will it be time for new ones?
Oh, not these. These are the core switches. So this is the first step. We're actually in the middle of doing an audit for the rest of their network, and we'll probably come to you a little bit later with some switches that are below the core network, but this gets us started and gets them on our network now.
Okay, thank you,
Yep,
both.
Any other discussion on this item? All right, seeing none, I'd ask you to register your vote.
Mr. Chair, you have 4 yeses.
All right, this resolution will move to the commission workshop agenda with a favorable recommendation.
Resolution number 263003, budget increase, library, $23,632.72. Purchasing request, a multi-year contract for the Blount County Library for 2 years with Bibliotheca to cover all repairs and maintenance for the book sorter.
Do I have a motion to forward this to the full commission? I have a motion by Ms. Hannum, a second by Commissioner Bright. Any discussion? Commissioner Anderson?
Thank you. Could you ask our library director to come up and maybe talk about this a little bit?
Yes, sir. Hello.
All right, thank you, Mr. Director. So this is for maintenance. This is a 2-year contract, so this amount is going to cover the next 2 years, and I understand it's pretty much March of this year through March of 2028.
Correct.
And it's going to cover all repairs and maintenance, so you don't foresee any extraordinary expenses unless we have to replace something with the machine?
Correct. There's been a certain number of instances where we've noticed the unit isn't operating as we intended. And so that hasn't made it to the point where we've felt that it's been a bad purchase, but at the same time, we felt that it was justified to be able to expend this right now as opposed to later, given the proprietary costs that we might have to pay for out of there.
Okay, so we're looking at about 11.5 a year if we're going to look at it on an annual basis. Have you looked at their prior years? Do they steadily increase the price as time? I'm sure they do, like everyone does. But have there been big jumps in their price structure?
Yes, sir. So after previously bringing this forward to the county, what we did is we wanted to make sure that we heard what all of you had said. And I went back and did some negotiating with the contract group, and they had agreed to drop the original asking price that they had asked of, I believe, $17,386 per year down to the 11,528 for the first year and a 5% CPI after that. And so this is only for a 2-year commitment. However, they did say that if this was something that we would want to entertain in the future, if applicable, they would honor a continued no more than 5% increase.
Okay, is that in the contract or is that just something they've kind of?
It was put in verbally between him and I did get reassurances that it, per the vendor, it is put into our record as to remain as such, and I have email documentation as well.
Okay, thank you. And then this is a question, I guess, for either you or Mr. Baldwin, but this is going to come out of library fund balance this year, and I assume it can come out of library fund balance if it's renewed in 2028. Is that correct?
If that's how the committee chooses and the commission chooses to approve the budget, yes, it could.
Okay, and what is the current library fund balance?
It's right under 1.5 million.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? Nope. Okay.
Mike, Mr. Commissioner Kaler. He's already turned on.
Oh, we did. Okay.
He's already on.
You got me?
Go ahead.
Just a, might be a stupid question, but did we buy it without a warranty?
No, sir. Whenever we bought it for the first year, it automatically came with its own warranty. And so as of present, any kind of operations issues, we can immediately contact them, and we get free repairs, free parts replacement, free maintenance, and free services, essentially, yes.
Well, if we got that, why are we buying this?
Well,
It's an extended warranty, or like buying a car, you get the extra warranty? Okay.
yes, sir, this
I
is
just
for
wanted to
the
understand
extended
what the-
warranty. I apologize.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other discussion? All right. I'd ask you to register your vote.
Mr. Chair, you have 4 yeses.
All right, this resolution will move to the commission workshop agenda with a favorable recommendation. Next section, discussion, possible action.
Request approval for Tennessee State Government Opioid Abatement Council Community Grant Cycle 3 for the Helen Ross McNabb Center for up to $2,500,000 annually for 3 years. No matching funds are required.
Do I have a motion to forward this to the full commission workshop? I have a motion from Commissioner Anderson, a second from Ms. Hannum. Any discussion on this item? Ms. Hannum?
Yes, I'd like for someone to be able to share with us how the grant's going to be administered, you know, all of that stuff that makes me nervous.
Hello. So we currently have a similar operation already in place with Blount County Juvenile Court, where this grant is a collaborative grant between the county and the Helen Ross McNabb Center. And so how it functions is that we do the operation of the services. We provide all of the reporting for this grant. So we invoice the county for the services that we provide, and then the county will invoice the state to reimburse on this grant. There is no match for this grant. So we have this already in place currently, and this would seek to expand co-occurring opioid treatment services for adults, specifically to operate the transition campus.
So is this grant renewable after the 3-year term is over, or a similar grant may become available because?
So this is cycle 3 of the opioid abatement community grants, from the settlement funds, and there are potentially additional cycles that will happen. This grant is a 3-year grant that will begin in July of 2027, and there is the opportunity to apply for cycle depending on where they are in their cycles and how much they've awarded and what is left of those funds.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or discussion? Yep. Commissioner Anderson.
So this is a significant amount of money, and I'm all in favor of getting grant money for a significant amount, and there's no matching funds required. Do you foresee that there are any other expenses that we're going to need or maybe recommended to incur as a result of receiving these grant funds from local tax dollars?
Absolutely not. So this would cover all of the operating services, and any additional potentially needs to operate this will be done so through billing insurance, through other avenues, other grants potentially to operate these services adequately and effectively.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Dow, if I could, one question I would like for the committee to hear is what's your sustainability plan? So if the funds, there isn't a renewal or that these funds aren't out there, how does the McNabb Center sustain this and continue to provide services?
Absolutely. So having these funds for the 3 years allows us to see what type of insurance potential billable insurance that we'll see from the participants of this program. So a lot of these individuals are obviously coming out of incarceration, therefore not having insurance. These services will help them to obtain insurance, to be able to use their insurance reimbursement to fund these services. So these 3 years we'll be able to see what that potential will look like and put those dollars into place for sustainability, as well as other grant funds. I write a lot of grants, so I do this often to find other grants to fund these operations.
Thank you. Ms. Hannum?
I just thought of a question, Shannon, as you were speaking just now. So for $2.5 million for 3 years, is there a stipulation within the contract that says we have to give back any money if we don't spend it all within that 3-year period of time? Or is that grant for use for the facility irrespective?
Yeah, so these dollars are able to carry over. So let's just say year one, we do not expend the $2.5 million for year one, because it's 2.5 per year. And so these dollars are allowed to carry over into operating year two, potentially, and then into operating year three. And there is also the potential currently, and this is based on evidence from our current grant that we have, that we can extend that 12 months after the expiration of the grant. If we still have, it's still in operation, we are providing those services, that those dollars will continue. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Seeing no further discussion, I'd ask you to register your vote.
Mr. Chair, you have 4 yeses.
All right, this resolution will move to the commission workshop with a favorable recommendation. Also in your packet, you have financial reports for information only. One last thing for the committee, I just want to remind the committee and those in the audience, the budget workshops this year will be on Thursday, March 26th and Friday, March 27th, both days beginning at 9 a.m. They'll be in this room and streamed on the Blount County Government YouTube channel. So if you want to participate in that, it would be highly, highly welcomed. With no other action, I have a motion to adjourn.
Second.